welcome to Wednesday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic, where we've got a new fog puzzle to try today. It's called Lines in the Fog, and it's by apetersen. I think that must be how it's pronounced. I think it might be Andy Peterson. I think Andy might have submitted puzzles to us before, but this one's been recommended many times. Apparently it's rather wonderful. I've read the rules, they're very cool. So basically the idea is that we have to draw lines underneath the fog, and the lines are going to be both region sum lines and renban lines simultaneously. Don't worry if you've never heard either of those words before. I will explain exactly what that means when we read the instructions together. But just a reminder, if you've never seen Fog of War Sudoku, it's absolutely fantastic, especially, well, in fact, you can only really play it on a computer because they haven't done scratch cards yet in this form. And the idea is, say you worked out what this digit was. When you filled in this digit, it would clear the fog from the surrounding cells, so you learn more about what's going on underneath the fog. It's absolutely fantastic, and I'm looking forward very much to trying this puzzle. But I have got some news to talk about first. I'm going to start by saying that we've got a setting video coming tomorrow from Piatato. Piatato's been responsible for a number of brilliant puzzles, but there were two in particular recently that were absolutely extraordinary. And I sort of said, I wonder if Piatato might do us a setting video. Well, he has. So 10 o'clock tomorrow UK time, look out, because that's going to appear on the channel. And I have watched it and I enjoyed it very much indeed. Other than that, our book. The book is, we're getting very close to the day, literally the day, where we have to tell the printers exactly how many copies we want. So if you have any inclination, if you have not already got yourselves a copy of Cracking the Cryptic's Greatest Hits Volume 2, and you think you might want one, then please do order it soon. I'll try and remember to put a link on the screen. There'll also be a link in the video description. Everything that we've been told, and all of the scheduling does suggest these books will be delivered by Christmas, which is something we've always been hoping we'll be able to achieve. So look out for that. I've still got work to do, actually. I've been thinking about that this morning because one of the Kickstarter goals was to get me to read some poetry. So I've been shortening the list in terms of which poetry I'm going to read. I'm really looking forward to doing that, so I'm going to start to do that after I finish this video, actually. What else? Oh, I want to shout out James Waterhouse as well. James has been doing the most unbelievable job on the proofreading of the PDF. So James, we really do appreciate it. I mean, your skills in this regard are unparalleled. I know Peter's very grateful, and so are Mark and me. So thank you for doing that. Other than that, what else do I need to tell you? We've got our Patreon reward, which is the Trick or Treat 6x6 Sudoku hunt from the Skunkworks that so many of you have been enjoying. Hundreds and hundreds of correct entries, and delightfully for us, loads of people saying this is the first one they've been able to get through. So thanks to the Skunkworks for pitching the difficulty absolutely perfectly. And then we've got Line Sudoku. It's out on Steam, it's out on Android, it's out on App Store. So it is a busy time for the world of Sudoku at the moment and Cracking the Cryptic. And I don't have any birthdays to do today, which is very odd, although I am hearing Maverick about to fly past the window in the background. So I'm going to give a shout out to a young viewer, Oliver. Oliver's 3 years old and watches with his mum Tamara. And apparently Oliver was watching yesterday's video and announced quite seriously to his mum that he's worried because my lungs are upside down. I don't know how you knew this, Oliver. I really hope they're not, actually. It sounds jolly painful, but I hope they're not. I am a massive hypochondriac, so I will now worry about that. But Tamara, thank you for telling us Oliver's news, and also thank you for watching the channel. Apparently it's a good way to wind down after a hectic day of parenting. Right, that's all the news. Let's have a look at Lines in the Fog by apetersen. This might be a debut for apetersen on the channel. I should have checked that before I turned on the webcam, but I forgot to do that. But these are the rules. We've got normal Sudoku rules apply. So we've got to put the digits 1 to 9 once each into every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. The grid is covered in fog. Correctly entering digits will remove the fog in the surrounding cells. Each line has a distinct colour. Lines do not branch, cross, and only move orthogonally. Okay, so what does that mean, moving orthogonally? That means, let me just get the line tool up. It means that the lines don't move like that. That's a diagonal movement. An orthogonal movement means crossing an edge, basically, crossing a long edge from cell to cell. So these are all orthogonal movements of a line. Just don't move your lines diagonally. All lines are renban, i.e. contain a set of non-repeating consecutive digits in any order. So we haven't got any lines. Let's imagine that was a line in this puzzle. And let's imagine we worked out there was a 1 on it. I'm only going to put a little 1 on it because I don't want, if this did happen to be a 1, it would clear the fog, and I'd learn things about the grid that I'm not supposed to know. So I don't want to cheat. So basically, if that was a 1, then we would know this line must contain 1, 2, and 3 because it has to contain consecutive digits that don't repeat, but they don't have to go in order. So they don't have to do that. We could put the 3 there, and then that could be the 2, and that could be a legitimate way of making a renban line. All lines, so all lines firstly were renban. All lines are region sum lines, i.e. along a line, each line segment within a different 3x3 box must sum to the same total n. N may be different for each line. So what does that mean? What that means is, let's draw another line. Let's imagine we had a line that does that. Let's ignore the fact that that might join up to that black line at the top. Now, what we're saying is within each 3x3 box, we identify line segments. So here's a line segment within box 5. Look, those 2 squares would sum to the same as these 2 squares would sum to the same as those 2 squares. And then if we had a different line over here, let's draw another line over here, then these 2 squares would sum to the same as those 2 squares, but the total for this line, these 2 could add up to 10, and these could add up to 12, 12, 12, etc. We don't have to have the same total for each line. So that's how region sum lines work. All lines have a length of 3 or more. Okay, so we can't have very short lines in this puzzle, which I think it would be very difficult to have a short line with this rule set when I think about it for a moment. Each line, not each line, one line is also a thermometer, and digits will increase from its bulb. The bulb may be in the middle of the line. So let's say we had a line here, which was a thermometer. So there'll be a bulb on the thermometer, I think. Bulb. Yeah, I think we're going to be told, we're going to be shown its bulb. It might be, I'm not sure about this, it might be that there's a line here where there's only one line that could possibly be a thermometer, so we may have to identify its bulb, I'm not sure. But let's say there was a bulb on the thermometer. What's that saying? It's saying that whatever this digit is, let's make it I tried to make it a 2 and typed a 1. Let's make it a 2. So now as we move up the thermometer, we'd have to increase digits. So in fact, as I'm thinking about that, I'm wondering how that's going to work with the region sum line. But let's ignore the region sum lines. That would be a valid way to fill the thermometer, because from the bulb, just as mercury rises, as the temperature increases, you can see that the digits have increased as we move away from the bulb of this thermometer. And that is all of the rules. So do have a go. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual. And now I get to play. Let's get cracking. You may be wondering, if you're new to our software, how's he drawing these lines? Well, you may have to click the cog icon on the right of your screens once you've launched the puzzle. Make sure you enable the pen tool. That will bring up an icon that allows you to draw these lines that I'm drawing. In fact, let's draw that line. And I'm going to extend all of these lines so far as I'm able into the fog, just so that we can envisage what's going on a bit more clearly. Look, oh, that's a slightly aggressive extension of that line. So I think I've extended all the lines so far as I'm able. And Okay, so now we're faced with the quandary of what on earth do we do next? The yellow lines have to join up together because each line has a distinct colour. So I think that means that these have to join up. One, two, three, four. Yeah, okay, this is probably where we start actually, because I've already got 4 cells of yellow, and in connecting these lines together, I don't think there's going to be a way of doing that without taking 5 more cells of this of puzzle. So imagine we try to get from here to this line as efficiently as we can. You can see we could go across like that. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, no, I need to go back to yellow, don't I? We could go across like that. And now we've used 8 cells. So we could go up like that, or we could go here like that. But the point that I think is important is that the yellow line is a 9-cell line. And therefore it needs to contain every single Sudoku digit, because there are 9 different Sudoku digits, and we can't repeat a digit along a line. Now the other thing I'm just wondering about, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, okay. So I know the value of that digit. If you don't know what that digit is, pause the video and have a think about it, because it's actually it's a really lovely initial step to this puzzle. Well done, apetersen. For those of you who managed to do it, congratulations, agad mator style. So how do I know what this digit is? Well, I know it because of a secret, and a little bit of appreciation of geometry. So if we think about how many 3x3 boxes is the yellow line going to move through? It's already in 3, isn't it? And we've got to connect it up. So it's either going to go into this one or this one, and it's got to go into this one. There's no other way of doing it, given that we have to move orthogonally from cell to cell. Although, hang on, maybe, what about if it did that? I hadn't thought of that. Let me just mull that one over for a moment. I mean, that doesn't work, actually, for a technical reason, which is that, well, let me read the, yeah, each line segment within a 3x3 box has to have the same total. So that would be a line segment, and that would be a separate line segment, wouldn't it? That's the way that I read the rules. So I don't think we could do that, because then these two numbers would have to both equal n, whatever n was, and that's going to break the world of Sudoku. So that I fear is not right. Well, I don't fear it. That's a good thing. So what that means is that I think my original thought was correct. We are going to have to go into box 5. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3. That's a 4th box this yellow line is entering. And then to get from box 5 to box 3, we're either going to have to go up here or across here, and we're going to enter a 5th box. Now, that's interesting in the context of the secret. The secret, of course, is something I only tell my very favourite people, but if you're still watching the video, you're definitely one of my favourite people. And the secret is that we know what the 9 different Sudoku digits add up to. It's the triangular number for 9. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9, nori nori, is equal to 45. So if this yellow line goes through 5 different boxes, each box must contain digits that sum to 45 divided by 5, which is 9. Now, what's that number then? That's the only cell of yellow in this box. So that I think is a 9. There we go. Ooh, look at what we've revealed there. We've got. Is that the same colour? I can't actually tell that. I'm not very. That, yeah, I can see it's the same colour now. I don't think it's quite the same colour as the line drawing tool, but you can see, so that's going to have to go over there. That's got to drop down here. The yellow line has to go here. Now, let's have a think about that then. So these two digits have to add up to 9. Yes. And I know whether the line moves from here. Because if the line did that, this digit would also be a 9 and repeat on the yellow line, which we know is not allowed. So we have to continue to there at least. Yeah, and we can only spend two digits in every one of the 5 boxes we're going to visit, can't we? Because we used 1 digit out of the 9 digits here. We're visiting 4 other boxes, so in each box we have to spend 2 turns worth, if you like. And that will allow us to use 1, 8, 2, 7, 3, 6 and 4, 5 along the yellow line. So we must move up here. We must spend 2 in there. Oh no, hang on, could we go... No, that's going to spend 3 in box 2. We have to then close, don't we? And then if we examine the yellow line carefully, it should be 9 cells long, and is. It's got a domino there, domino there, domino there, domino there, which is exactly what we'd expect to find. Now, I don't see immediately how we're going to allocate those digits to each of those dominoes, or allocate the digits 1 to 8 to each of those dominoes. So we probably need to 1, 2, 3, 4, that's 9 as well. Right, let's look at the orange line and think about how that works, because that also must sum to 45. Oh, this is okay, this is quite easy, isn't it? It's quite easy but quite pretty at the same time. This orange line visits 3 different 3x3 boxes. So this time we need to divide the secret by 3 and we get 15. But 15 in a domino only has 2 different ways of working. It's either 6, 9 or 7, 8. So one of these is 6, 9 and one of these is 7, 8. And we get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 quintuple in box 1, which also of course adds up to 15, being the triangular number for 5. So these squares are 6, 7 and 8 by a process of elimination. So we almost... this could be the thermometer, could it? Is this the thermometer then? Because I'm wondering why this line is here. It doesn't go into another box. In fact, let's just read the rules. All lines are region sum. Each line segment within a different 3x3 box must sum to the same total. Well, it's true to say that this does sum to a total, but it doesn't go into another 3x3 box. I'm confused by this line. I'm worried that whoever's put this into our software has made a mistake, because it doesn't seem to go into another box. And I don't understand its purpose, unless I could understand its purpose if at some point this is going to be a thermometer line, and therefore it's going to have a specific order. That could be what we've meant to do. But let's carry on. I don't see how to resolve it anyway, one way or the other, because we don't know whether the bulb's in the middle. If the bulb's in the middle of it, it would be a 6 here, and this would be a 7, 8 pair. But if the bulb is at one end, it would be a 6, 7, 8 in one order or another. I might be missing the point of that one. I'm not sure. Okay, so what do we do then now? The purple line I don't think is quite as... Oh no, hang on. Yeah, okay. I think actually no, I've changed my mind about the purple line. I'm just going to check. I think this is an end and this is an end, but I'm not quite sure. I'm just going to delete. Yeah, okay. So these are the 2 ends of the purple line. So once we've gone up here, if we weren't going to do that, what could we do? we'd have to go round the houses and something like that, wouldn't we? That would be the shortest thing we could do. Now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's way more than 9 cells. Okay. So I think that has to go there. We don't know whether it... Oh no, we do. We do. I was about to say we don't know whether it does this or not. But we do know it doesn't do that. Because if it did do that, let's count the cells now of the purple line in box 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, the triangular number for 4 is 10. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4. I can't write 10 into that square. So that's not going to work. So I think we've got to close that. I don't think there's another way of doing that, but I'm... Yeah, okay. And now I can see a possible value for this cell. I think that can be 5. I mean, or the way I'm viewing this 5-cell line is that this is the highest digit on the line, isn't it? Because this is the sum of other digits. So this is the highest digit. Now if it was 5, we can do that in renbanic form. Because 1, 2, 3 and 4, you can split them up into a 1, 4 pair and a 2, 3 pair, and they will add up to 5. So that can be 5. If that's 6, then we know that the digits on the line would be 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, but you can't put 3 on either of these dominoes because it would need another 3 on it. If you make it 7, it's just not going to work because you've got to have a 6, which you've got to partner with a 1. Yeah, so any other digit doesn't work because the digit immediately lower than that digit, which must be on the line, needs a 1 to accompany it, and you can never get a 1 to accompany it. If you can, it's weird, but it's true. So I think that's a 5. Ah, look at that! Oh, look at what's that done? Oh, is this because the green is slightly different down here? Hang on. That I don't. Oh yeah, it is. Look. Okay, so hang on. We can do 1, 2, 3, and 4 here. That's probably doing something. I can't quite see. It looks like the green line is another 9-cell line. I might be miscounting that. That's just optically looking at it. I'm just trying to understand whether we can do any better. I don't think so. I don't know how we're going to... I don't see how we can split these up. So let's do the green line then. So the green line goes this way, down here, there. It's actually got no choice, has it, about how it moves through the fog, given it has to move orthogonally. Now, is this 9 cells? Yes. Okay, and it's one, and it's moving through 3 different boxes. So this one is also a 15 line. So these 2 digits are whatever these 2 are not, because we know they added up to 15, and we now know these add up to 15. So if this was 6, 9, that would be 7, 8. So this domino is the same as that domino, which feels like it might be important. Let's just tidy that up now, because now 5 in this box has to be in one of those 2 squares. So that square is not... Oh, neither of these squares is a 5, look. So 5 is in one of these positions. These squares are from 1, 2, 3 and 4. Oh, that's lovely, actually. That's lovely. It's a simple deduction, but it's lovely. This domino has to add up to 9. But the only digits we're allowed to put in this, because 6, 7, 8 have gone, 6, 7, 8 and 9 have gone, are digits from 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So the only way of getting to 9 is if this is a 4, 5 pair, and that's going to tell us that's 5. That's 4. This now had to add up to 5, so that's got to be a 2, 3 pair, which means this is a 1, 4 pair. I like this very much. That digit is a naked single 1, I believe. I love it when the fog clears. That digit's a 1 as well. We are going to get something from that. Now, what have we learnt from this little escapade? I know there's a 1 down here in column 1 now. I've got another. Is that actually a line? Hang on, it looked like I've drawn something in there. Yeah, there is a line. So okay, so this is another line a bit like this line actually. It must be 3 cells long. That's something we're told. So it goes into the corner, and okay, so it's going to be something about. Well, I was thinking if there was 1 on this line, it would be a 1, 2, 3 triple, and then these squares would be too big because they would have to be on the top side of 5. They'd be something like, so they'd have to be 6, 7, 8, and 9, and they couldn't possibly add up to only 15. So that's definitely not a 1. Actually, it's not true to say they would be 6, 7, 8, and 9 because this line is longer. But it is true to say they'd still be too big. But they could include 4. They could be 4, 6, 7, 8 is what they could be. But that's still a lot more than 15. Not quite seeing this at the moment. Let me just mull this for a second or two. What have we got in the column? We've got big digits down at the bottom of column 3. And this is a renban. Yes. Okay, and this renban can't pass through 5 because 5 is not allowed to be on it. So this is either 6, 7, 8 or 7, 8, 9. So there's definitely 7 and 8 on this renban, so that's not 7 or 8. This is 6 or 9, and this section we know adds up to... Well, if that's a 9, this would have to be 1, 2, 3, which I don't know if that does break I don't think it does immediately break column 1. It's putting a lot of pressure on it. Oh, here's another way of looking at it. Look at column 1. That digit we know is at least 6. So there is a 6, 7, 8, 9 quadruple in column 1. So these squares are from 1, 2, 3 and 4. They can't include 5 because the 5's already appeared in the box. Right, so sorry, let's go back to this. So if that's 9, this is 1, 2, 3. If this is 6, then these squares have to add up to 9 without using 6 or 5, so they would be 2, 3, 4. Right, so this little section of digits definitely has 2 and 3 on it. Oh, but hang on, we worked out 1. Oh, that's the way to do it. Yes, I see. Yeah, the way to think about this is if this is 6, how do you make those 3 squares add up to 9? Given that one of the digits is a 1, there's no way to do it, because the other 2 digits would have to add up to 8, and they couldn't be 1, 7 without repeating the 1. They couldn't be 2, 6, and they couldn't be 3, 5. So this, I think, is a 9 with a 1, 2, 3 triple here. So let's put the 1, 2, 3 triple in, and hope the 9 is right, which it is. Oh, that's very peculiar. I was not anticipating. I'm going to come back to thinking. Well, actually, this is weird. This is weird. What's going on here? I want to make these a 6, 7, 8 triple. That's what they are. So that square's a 4, which has also cleared some fog, which has cleared a 4 from this square. This square's not a 1. I've got a 2, 3 pair in column 2. This square can't be a 9. Ah, yeah, look. There's a 9 on the green line, and we know this domino adds up to 15. So that can't be 6 and 9. So that's 7 and 8, which means this is 6 and 9, which means that one is 7 and 8. So whatever that digit is, no, it still would have 3 homes in box 5, so perhaps that's not the next step. Well, hang on, let's come back to this then. I'm actually totally perplexed by this. Why is this here? I don't understand. I am very confused. It also seems to have the same colour as this one. But anyway, I think it's very clear that this number's a 6, isn't it? That's clearly the bulb of the thermometer. So that must be 6, and it is. Okay, so that's surrounded by a 7-8 pair. Now, if we look at this column, there's a 6, 7, 8 triple, the 6 of which is up there. That allows us to remove the 6 from this square. We could have removed the 6 just by using the 6 down there, but let's not do things in such a straightforward manner when complexity is available to us. I think, yeah, that might be why little Oliver thought my lungs were upside down, because my brain works in inverted ways. I can't see what to do over here. I'm sure this is resolved somehow on the left-hand side, but do we? Oh, we know what these digits are, don't we? Because they've got to be the other digits that, right, okay, so that's 4, 5 and 6. Right, that's not 4 because of 1, 4 being here. Okay. Okay, that's a 1. That's how we can get further. That's a 1. That's a 4. That's revealed a little bit of red line here. So the red line goes there. But we don't know whether it sort of does some sort of curvature before it... Oh. Actually, I do know, don't I? This is a very clever puzzle. It's a very clever puzzle, because how could this wiggle now and not just go straight there? If it wiggles, then that has to wiggle. And now I can't join those up, because this digit and this digit would have the same total. So I'd have to go on a sort of meander around there, and that's far too many. That's millions of cells. It's not equal to only 9 cells. So I think that does join up. And that's huge. That is huge, because now what's this? It's a renbanic line again, which is 4 consecutive digits when 4 and 5 are not available. So it's got to be 6, 7, 8 and 9. That's just beautiful, isn't it? It's very simple again, but lovely. Now, right, okay, we've got 1, 2, 3 triple into this row. That can't be 1. And we know again, don't we? Oh, this is fine. Yeah, again, these add up to 30 in 2 boxes. So each section here has to add up to 15, but there's a 6 in here again. So that one's got to be 7, 8, and this one's going to be 6, 9. And now I've got a 7, 8 pair in column 5. Which... Right, I see. I think I see how to do this. Okay, so that digit is the same as that digit, isn't it? And then by Sudoku, where does that go in column 4? Well, it has to go there. So this is 7 or 8. Well, it can't be 8, because this would be a 1, because the yellow line adds up to 9 in each box. And there's already a 1 here, so that's a 7, I think. That's therefore a 2. That's an 8, that's a 7, that's a 7, that's an 8. This is great. It's great that as we're placing digits, all of our presumptions about what's going on under the fog are being proved correct. Now, let's see. What do we do now? There's an 8 in one of... No, there's not. There's no 8 down here, look. So there's an 8 in one of 2 places in box 5. Ah, yeah, here we go, look. The rest of the yellow line needs to have a 1-8 pair on it somewhere. Well, that's not there because of this 8. So this is a 1-8 pair, which unfortunately doesn't seem to do anything. This is a 3-6 pair. That is doing something. That's getting rid of 6 from there, which seems to place 6 in box 1. didn't clear any fog because there's no fog to be cleared, so that's always a bit disconcerting. That can't be 3. Hang on, I meant to not put 3 in there because of this 3-6 pair. 6 is in one of those squares at the top of box 3. Sorry, had to take a call from Mr. Goodliff. He's well, he's actually travelling back from Oxford at the moment. But yeah, anyway, he rang me, and I decided to pick it up, which was probably foolish. Where were we up to? We were putting. Actually, let me just unwind for a moment. Let's just see. We got a 6, a 3. Oh no, we didn't get a 3 there. That's just me mistyping. Right, I've removed a 3, and then we get a 6 up here, which is just Sudoku. Okay, so we're back on track. We've got Sudoku going on. We've got right. So we've got 2, 4 is down there by Sudoku. If in doubt and you're trying to get your brain up to speed again, try and do some Sudoku. It's a good idea. Maverick does his next fly past. I can hear 1 in box thingy, has to be down there. So, oh no, we can still put the 1 there. I suddenly thought I was going to get the 1 in box 9. 1 in box... okay. One in box 2 is there, so that's 8. Let's put that in. That's 1. Let's put that in. We've now revealed a new line in box 3, which is a blue line, and that's joining up to its friend there. So that's going to do some work, isn't it? Doesn't all the lines have to be at least 3 long? So that one's got to come to at least here. It might not. We don't know yet whether it's got to go through the boundary. At least I don't think we know that. I can, when I say things like that, and I'm not quite sure, it's almost like I can hear a chorus of disapproval echoing back through time at me. Let me just think about this for a second. This line, this blue line here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it's 7 cells long. Now, it only visits 2 boxes. Right, so this line, which has got 7 different digits on it, is not missing 1 and 9. Because if it was missing 1 and 9, the sum of the digits on the line would be 45 minus 1 minus 9, which is 35. 35 divided by 2 is not an integer. So we couldn't split the line into 2 equal sections. So when we miss digits off this line, we're either missing 1 and 2 off the line, or we're missing 8 and 9 off the line. Now, okay, and what does the line add up to then? So the line adds up to... it depends. So it either adds up to 42 if it's not got 1 or 2 on it. Oh, I thought I was just about to put a 1 on it. I suddenly realised there's some Sudoku I could do. So if that's a... Well, no, if that's a 1, then there is no 1 on the line, which means it's got no 2 on the line, which means it adds up to 42, and each section adds up to 21. But if there is a 1 on this line, then it adds up to the triangular number for 7, which is 28. And each section would add up to 14. So that, if that's a 1, this would have to add up to 13. It would either, couldn't be 4, 9, so it would have to be either 5, 8 or 6, 7. Which is probably in some way relevant. This line, okay, here's a tiny deduction. This line always has 4 on it. Because in fact it's always got 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7 on it. Always. So can we do something with that knowledge? I don't know, actually. Maybe we can't. Oh, this is infuriating. I definitely know it's got 4 on it up there, because the 4 in box that must be on it can't be on it in box 6. Gosh, this is really interesting, actually. How could I, how do I know what this line does? Or am I meant to? Or is there something that I'm meant to know about this black line now? I know the sum of those digits, don't I? Those digits sum up to 45 minus 9, which is 36. So these add up to 36. So if this does drop into box thingy thing, if this does drop down here, then it's going to have to take quite a lot of cells in this box, because if these add up to 36, then all of the blue and black cells in this box would also have to add up to 36. But that's only the case if this does pop out and it doesn't do that. So how do we know whether this lives its whole life just within box 3? That is a question that I would very, very much like to answer. If it does live its life entirely within box 3, what can it have on it? Well, that's quite an interesting question, because it can't have 4 on it, and it can't have 8 on it, and it's a 3-cell line. So it would have to have on it 5, 6, 7, wouldn't it? It would have to be 5, 6, 7 exactly. It's the only way you could constitute it. But it looks like it might be able to do that. So this, how do we prove either that this is 5, 6, 7 or that it's not 5, 6, 7? Right, I see. Well, if it was 5, 6, 7, that doesn't work, because then this blue line has 9 and 2 on it, and it's only a 7-cell line, so it can't have 9 and 2 on it. Wow, so this black line does have to grow, and that's going to do massive work, because, well, now I think the logic we were talking about before must be relevant. If they add up to 36, I have to include enough cells in box 6 to get to 36. Now 9, 8, 7, 6 and 5 only add up to 35, so we need at least 6 cells of blueness and blackness in box 6, so we've got to come down to here. Now, what on earth does that mean, I hear you ask? And the answer is, I don't know. If it was just those squares, there would be a 1 in one of them, and yet these have to add up to 36. So they would have to be 1 and 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's the only way we could do it. So these squares would be 2, 3 and 4, and that square would be a 3, because it couldn't be a 2, and apparently 4, it couldn't be a 2 or a 4. Yeah, okay. So this would be a 2, 4 pair. That might be possible. I'm not sure. How do we do this? Hang on, let me think. Let me think for a second or two. Is there a way of looking at this logically? If If it turns there, then it can't go any further. So then what would we be saying? Oh, hang on, here's a thought. Whoa, I don't like that thought. I don't like that thought. Hang on. Okay, I'll tell you my thought. I haven't got to the end of my thought in my brain yet, but the thought I've had, which is making me think I've broken the puzzle actually, is however many cells blue and black take in box 6, there must be a 9 in blue and black in box 6, because if we try and leave 9 off the line, let's say I made that square a 9, that square's clearly not blue or black, so that's at least 10 cells that are not on the line, 10's worth of cells that are not on the line in box 6, and that means the maximum blue and black could add up to is 35, but we know blue and black have to add up to 36 in box 6. So 9 is on the line here, but 9 is on a line up here, and 9 can't repeat on a line. So now we know that blue and black have 9 on them. But now I feel like they're going to add up to too much, because we know that the blue line we now know can't have 1 on it, in fact, because it's got 9 on it. So that's a simple deduction. That's got to be a 1. That hasn't resolved anything apart from... But, oh, no, that's beautiful. That's absolutely beautiful. Oh, my... Apetersen, that's sensationally clever, because I worked out, from the logic we just did, that the black line has a 9 on it, and it now has a 1 on it. So it's now a 9-cell line, so it definitely doesn't go there, because otherwise it will branch. So it's got to carry on down the grid. And it's got to go, oh, whoopsie, it's got to go at least to here. And now it has to go to the bottom of the grid, because if it bends, where does that digit go in column 9? It has no possible place to go, because it can't repeat on its line, it can't go in its own box. So column 9 is a big line. Column 9 is a big column 9 is a big line of blackness. And and we know that each little strand of this adds up to 15 now, because it's the same thing again. It's 45 divided by 3. So this is a 15 line, so these two squares are either, that's not 4 then, this is either 6, 8 or 5, 9 in some order. That can't be 8, oops, can't be 8, so that can't be 6. And, oh, I see how we could do this though. We know that there's a 9 on this line, don't we? And therefore there is an 8 on this line, and that 8 must be in one of those two squares on the blue line. So this is now not able to be 6, 8. That is 5 and 9. This square is not a 1. This square is a 1 by Sudoku now. This is brilliant. This is quite brilliant. Okay, now 8 is on the line down here. Oh, well, another question we could ask is, where does 4 go in column 9? Because 4's on the blue line there, and 4's in this domino here. So 4's down here somewhere, and it's not there. So there's a 4 in the corner, with an 8 above it, with a 3 above that to make it add up to 15. This square becomes a 2. 2, 6 and 7 have to be up here, and we know the 6 is in the top row, so that's 6. This is 2, 7. It's probably resolved somehow. Can't see how immediately. We now know what's on the blue line in box 1, so that is 3, 4, 5 and 9. Now, let's see what this is adding up to then. So that's 21, isn't it? 3, 4... Yeah, okay, so that's got to be 6, 7, and 8. And 6, 7, and 8 do add up to 21. So that makes me think we've probably alighted on the correct deductions here. That's not 7 by Sudoku. So we haven't put 2, 3, and 4 into this. So this is a 3. That's a naked single. That's a 3. This is a 2, 4 pair. Okay, take 4 out of the corner. That seems to be correcting that digit, giving me this digit. Okay, I can't see anything immediate that's flowing from there. Can I do this 3, 6? Is that doing something for me? That's not 3. I've nearly cleared all the fog. 8 here. Oh, I see. That's been available for ages. Look, that's 8. That's 7. I cleared a useless amount of fog. That's 8. That's 7. That's 8. That's 7. Oh, no. Come on. All right, these two squares. They include a 1, so we can put the 1 in. That got rid of some more fog. Now that square has to be a 7. That's a 6. No fog clearance, but I think that's because we've all but done the fog. That's a 9, so that's a 5. So these two squares have got to be 8 and something. Well, the 8 must go there then. That's 8 and 3, isn't it? 8 and 3. 3 and 6. 6 comes out of this one. We need 5, 6, 9 in this box can be placed. 6 here, 5 here, 4 here. That got rid of the last bit of fog. So that's 6, that's 5. Somehow this 2, 3 thing isn't done. I don't know quite how that's happened. What about 7? Yeah, that's 7, that's 2. So that's no longer 2. We can place 2, in fact, in box number... Oh, that's huge. So that's 3, that's 2, that's 3. 3 comes out of these squares. No 3 in the corner. 2, 4, 5 triple, though. That can't be 9. That's a 4. That's a 5 naked single. It sees 2 and 4. So that's 4. That's 5. That's 4. That's 2. 3, 5, and 9 we can do as well. Or we can do the 3 at least. And 6 is doing this stuff. I think it's finished. It feels like it's given up, doesn't it? 4 and 2. 2 goes here. 5 goes here. This is 1, 3, and 9. So that's got to be the 1. That's got to be the 3. That's got to be the 9. This has got to be the 1. We need 4 and 9. 4 and 9. Well, that's brilliant. That is a quite brilliant puzzle. Absolutely. Oh. Except I've messed it up. Oh! What did I do there? I've obviously messed up. Oh, look, I've put 2 5s, I can see, into row 3. So let's rewind. That was not clever. How did I manage to do that? I don't know. That 5 looks correct. That 4 looks correct. And then I wrote 5 in there. I was meant to write 2 in there, surely. What on earth? I think I even remember saying that, because I think I did it by looking at these 2s. I don't know what I did there. I'm so sorry. That's going to be a cause for chagrin, isn't it? But I don't think it matters too much. I think the puzzle is still broadly finished. Famous last words. 4 and 5. 1, 4, and 9. Can we do that? Yeah, 4, 1, 9. So 1 goes here. This is 3 and 9. So this is 2 and 5. 2 and 5. That's 5 and 9. That's 9 and 6. We've got a different solution. Is this solution right? That is correct. 155 people in 4 days. Anyone who solved that has had fun with it. It's really good, this. It's a really good puzzle. Let's actually just quickly revisit. I mean, it starts very beautifully, where you have to know a secret. I liked the fact you could immediately work out. Oh, I don't understand this line still. I don't understand. What's this doing in the puzzle? I don't think it does anything. Because you know this is 15 from the geometry of the orange line. I don't know. Does anyone know? Is that there for a reason? Or is that... is it an incomplete line? I'm wondering whether whoever's put this into the software, whether they've done it incorrectly. And maybe this line was meant to go here, here. Now you can't get to, I don't think you can get to 21, can you? You can get to, no, you can't. Or, oh no, maybe you can. Maybe you can with all those, maybe it's meant to be a longer line. I don't know. Oh no, but, no, it couldn't be a longer line because that line doesn't have a digit on it. It doesn't have a 3 on it. So it doesn't work. I'm perplexed. That's something I don't understand. Someone's going to have to explain this line to me. I'm not sure what it does. Unless there's a different solving path that doesn't involve you getting this 9 first. Maybe that's it. Maybe there's a different way you can start the puzzle. And then you need this in order to give you this, or to make this an extreme number like a 6 or a 9 or something. That could be it. Don't think it is. I mean, that yellow line felt like a very natural beginning to me. Yeah, I mean, there is an argument for taking this out of the puzzle. I just don't... It's just confused me, is what it's done. But anyway, let's carry on with what I like the fact we knew which way that line went. We got a 5 here. That forced the geometry of this line. I like the way you could then... Yeah, we could deduce that was high, couldn't we? And then sort of work on this line. This was a lovely line. But my favourite bit by far was... and I'm wondering whether I've overcomplicated this, but working out there had to be 2 9s on the blue and the black line, and then what that meant was just beautiful to me, because it immediately placed the 1 on this line, and that immediately meant this had to be a 9-cell line. It's fantastic. That's a fantastic piece of setting. It's really, really good. I love these fog puzzles. When they're done like this, it's just fantastic, isn't it? Brilliant. Let me know in the comments how you got on. I enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind, and when they tell me what this line's doing. And we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.